Last night, I stood in a room full of engineers and founders, and I told them exactly how I built VeriDeal. 10 of them full stack DevOps guys. They had never heard of Claude Code. These guys, full stack, never heard of Claude Code. They've only been using ChatGPT and not even using that for code. So that's when I realized there's a huge shift in all of this, in all of the market right now. Founders that are using vibe coding, that are using vibe marketing, that are using even Claudebot and all this stuff, they're in a different league than anyone else that thinks that everything needs to be still handwritten. And the reason why, you can ship faster. You can just ship and get users on board. It might not be perfect. It might be 80%, 90, 85%, 90%. But guess what? It's going to get users on board to see if you get product market fit. And if you get product market fit, then guess what? You win. So then you hire DevOps guys to actually build. Maybe if you have to refactor, sure. But now you have an actual platform rather than just waiting and waiting and waiting, maybe build something. And then all of a sudden you realize that you're 2 years in, you have no product market fit, you burn all the cash, you're done. So that's what happened last night. I went to a networking event for founders and solo entrepreneurs, all the fun stuff. And it was good. It was packed room. I was shocked. It was like about 100 people showed up, and everyone was really excited to have conversations about really just anything. But the one thing that just absolutely blew me away was the fact that people were not using Claude Code. They barely even knew what Claudebot was or Maltbot, whatever the new name is. I think they changed it again today. And they couldn't believe that I vibe coded my MVP, had a contractor, help me get the pipelines properly, the CI/CD and all the fun stuff. And then I've just been shipping, right? Getting users, getting deals on board. That's what that's what this world is all about. Just doing stuff. Um, I it was even to the point where about halfway through the networking event, I had two rounds of two different people walk up straight up to me and say, I was told that you're doing something that I've never heard of before. And I was told to come meet you because you're going to take down LinkedIn. And I was like, yeah, that's the plan. That's what VeriDeal is all about. Um, One, I'm doing something that I guess is edge case, maybe bleeding edge, maybe, but not to me. And then the second thing is, taking down LinkedIn. That's the whole game. That's the whole mission with VeriDeal is to take down LinkedIn. Why? Because everyone last night, when I said that, everyone was like, "That's great," and I said, "Why is that great?" Because what do you use LinkedIn for? You get on LinkedIn, and right now it's a social network, right? There's some good benefits. Don't get me wrong. There's good benefits with every platform. But what people perceive LinkedIn as a job place to go find jobs, to go prove your worth. But it doesn't work. It barely doesn't even work that way. All the job applications are kind of BS. They're not real. They're full of, spam, and everyone knows that. So when I explained VeriDeal to all these founders, engineers, and investors, they understood. They understood that this is the new game in town, the game of verifying your actual work to employers, to recruiters, to future employers. Why? Because this world is moving so fast with technology. You have to prove yourself, and if you want, like, we're starting with sales roles, right? And so I was explaining to people that within sales, you have to have something verified. DevOps, like engineers, they have GitLab, GitHub. They, if you're a writer, you have your actual content. If you're an architect, you have your drawings. All these different professions have some type of professional portfolio. Yet sales reps have what? A resume, a LinkedIn portfolio. And remember, sales reps are known to be the best storytellers, known to be the best stretching at the truth, convincing someone of something, or selling themselves for a position. So, how do you verify any of that stuff? How do you verify someone actually closed that type of deal or has that type of relationship with that buyer? Maybe you're the hiring manager trying to hire in that certain very niche market, right? Like let's use manufacturing. And let's say your company is trying to break into manufacturing within this big city. Okay. You see this resume come through, and the resume states that this sales rep has sold in manufacturing in the enterprise level in this city and knows these companies. Golden ticket. Check. Hire that person. 3 months later, no introductions. 6 months later, what's going on? 9 months later, you realize this person has never sold into them. Just put it on there. Maybe they're the junior sales rep or the assistant or the SDR on there. They don't have that relationship. So you just wasted 12, let's say 9 months, and then you get that sales rep out. Then you have to wait another 3 months to go through the entire recruiting and hiring phase. And then you're hopeful for another thing. So you just spent an entire year. That's a lot of money to just kind of risk. Well, on the interview, that 30-minute, 45-minute, maybe an hour interview over Skype or Zoom is cool. Like that person's fine. Yeah. Or I trust that resume. That works. Or what if that rep that has that manufacturing ability or relationships and has that manufacturing sales acumen, right? Can actually go into the interview or even before the interview, the recruiter searches for that person on VeriDeal and goes like, bingo, that's the golden ticket. So then the recruiter shows the VeriDeal portfolio of that sales rep to the hiring manager. And then the hiring manager goes like, of course, that's the person that we're looking for. So then they ping that sales rep, hey, we saw that you're looking for a job. You wanted something new. You have the exact set of skills and experience that we want. Here's your offer, right? Maybe after an interview or two, just to make sure that you get along with them. They come on board 30 days later, you're already having lunch with the CIO or CTO of the main manufacturing company that your company wants to have. So now, not only do you, not only does the recruiter look good, the hiring manager look good, the VP, and probably even the CRO and CEO look so happy. Why? Because they just realized that they hired someone that has the actual truth of their resume on VeriDeal, and it's verified by the buyer. Who wouldn't want that? So, anyways, going back to the networking event last night, talking to all these founders, telling them about VeriDeal, the story. They're one, blown away by what I've done with the past year, but then two, blown away with like how VeriDeal is already going to just completely displace LinkedIn. And so that's the fun. That was pretty fun to kind of like talk to and listen to other people, give their honest feedback. So that was good. So yeah, and so it's Friday, closing down for the weekend, or at least the day, kind of. The two topics that I have on the whiteboard, one is networking. So I kind of touched on that, but the main importance of networking, I would definitely say, especially if you're entrepreneur, I mean, early stages, if you're solo, anything like that, right? Get out there. I found it on Eventbrite or something like that. All I found, like, I typed in like startup meetups, and it was good. It was free. Went, enjoyed myself. Um, you'll be around like-minded people trying to figure stuff out, just like you, and you'll realize that you're not crazy. They're not crazy. You're pulling your hair out just like they are. So go network. I I came away with a lot of good advice. You know, you know, think of it this way, do that. So that was good, and I gave a lot of good advice to a lot of people, and I think that's also very important when you're networking. Try to give 2x what you receive. So if you're getting a lot of great value, spend 2x time finding people in that group to give information. I think that's where it really matters. And you can tell the people that are there to like either sell you or pitch you or want a free ride, if you will. Stay away from those people. Go find the people that are actually like doing stuff, or hungry for knowledge, and just share. They took their time to be there. So you should, you know, exchange that. And then the second thing that I wrote on the board for today is action. Um, this came up last night at the networking event, and I've spoke to you guys about this multiple times. Is no New Year's resolutions for 2026 at all. No New Year resolution at all. And the reason why is there's one word that you only need this year, and that's called action. All you have to do is take action. Um, yes, you can have goals, sure, but nothing matters unless you have action. For an example, last night I was talking to this guy. He has a PhD in computer science or something, with a specialty in machine learning. Extremely smart, doesn't have a job, and doesn't want to get a job, and doesn't know how to start a business. And I told him, I was like, okay, but just like type it into Claude and, just follow step by step. And he was like, what are you talking about? He conceptually didn't think about taking baby steps and just taking action. Just ask really very basic, dumb questions into Claude. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me figure this out? And guess what? That's what these machines are for. Like that, just do it, just go build it, take action. So after about, I'd say like 15-minute conversation, I walked through how to start and all the way to building an audience. That's where we left off. It doesn't matter. Like I said in previous videos, again, it doesn't matter if you build the best product or ship the best thing in the entire world. If no one knows about it, it doesn't exist, no matter what. So have an audience, build an audience, continue to build an audience, and just take action. Everything revolves around taking action. So if you don't know something, go learn it. If you want to do something, go do it. If you don't know how to do anything, just ask a question. Just ask Claude, Grok, Gemini. I don't know what you use. Just ask it. Um, and then you'll just figure it out. And if you don't, then go to a networking group. They probably happen once a month. And if they don't, start one. You'll have one or two people, but who cares? At least you have one or two people that you can ask questions with. So go to that networking group and ask the questions. I'm stuck with this. Where do I go? Most people will help you, especially at the networking groups, especially at startup networking groups, because everyone there is trying to figure out themselves. And, you know, it's a nice cohort to be around. So it doesn't take too much. It doesn't cost that much. It takes time, but that time is very valuable to be around those people. So go do that. And plus, you never know who you might meet. You might meet your next co-founder. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. So this week, very good. I'm excited for this weekend. Um, I have a follow up call with someone that I met last night. Um, she started her own company, and so she needs help, and she asked for it. And she gave me her business card, and she agreed to meet tomorrow at lunch. So I'm really excited to help her kind of get started. She's only at wireframe right now, and so hopefully by the end of the call, we'll have her at MVP. Pretty fast. So um, I'm excited for that, and that's really it. I'm excited. It's all about that. So go out there, go find some networking groups, some action. If you don't know what to do, ask, ask Claude, ask Grok, ask your networking group. Just go take action, and then always remember you have to build an audience, and always keep building an audience. Be genuine, be authentic, be yourself. Be weird. I don't know. Be yourself. People like that. It's pretty simple. Um, yeah, cool. Well, look, it is. I will be back on Sunday night. Like I said, I am on Sunday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So, hope you guys have a good week. Had a good week. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll talk to y'all later tonight or in 2 days. All right. See y'all.